Welcome on board, chosen one. There you are, walking in like the universe finally put the spotlight where it always should have been. And look how quiet the room gets the second you show up. Funny how the same people who once said you were nothing special suddenly forget how to breathe now. The same ones who laughed, doubted, rolled their eyes, called you dramatic, called you delusional. Look who's standing here with the truth dripping off their face. Look who's choking on their own words. Look who's realizing they never understood what you were capable of until it was far too late. And the best part? You didn't just prove them wrong. You accidentally saved a cartel boss, and now he owes you everything. Yeah, that's the part nobody saw coming, especially not them. Before we go deeper, press the like button and subscribe. It pays the message back and keeps this mission moving. Now listen closely, because this is where the universe starts laughing. When they said you were weak, the universe said, "Watch." When they said you moved too quietly, the universe whispered, "Good." And when they said nobody important would ever notice you, the universe brought a cartel boss to his knees in front of your kindness. Oh, the legend needs to bow now. Looks like it. But let's pull the curtain back. Let's talk about what really happened. There was a time not long ago when your life was simple, predictable. You blended in like everyone else. You could walk into a store, a street, a room, and nobody cared enough to even look up. Your biggest problem was deciding what to eat for dinner. Your biggest headache was who didn't text back. You had the luxury of being invisible, and you thought that was normal. You thought that was your story. Then one moment shattered everything. One instant, one action, one tiny spark of instinct that reshaped your whole fate. A man was dying. Maybe it was an accident, maybe it was an attack, maybe it was chaos exploding right in front of you, but your body moved before your mind could scream, "Don't." You didn't do the math. You didn't question the danger. You didn't notice the wrong symbols on his skin or the wrong men watching you from the wrong cars across the street. You didn't know you were stepping into history. You just acted. You saved him, and when his eyes opened, everything changed. Those weren't regular eyes. Those were eyes that once signed fear into existence. Eyes that have watched powerful men fold. Eyes that have seen betrayal, loyalty, and endings most people can't survive. But those eyes locked onto you with something he rarely gives anyone: debt. See, you didn't save a stranger. You saved a man whose name makes cities tremble. You saved someone whose enemies would sacrifice kingdoms to witness him bleed. You saved a myth disguised as a criminal, a boss who built empires in the shadows. And now, he owes you, completely, irreversibly, forever. The enemies who laughed at you don't know what to do with this information. The same people who once treated you like a nobody are now whispering behind locked doors, because what kind of ordinary person gains the loyalty of someone the world fears? What kind of nobody ends up with a cartel boss calling them the only person I'll ever repay? Let me tell you what kind. The kind of person the universe has been sharpening in secret. The kind who moves through life thinking they've failed, not realizing they were being groomed for a moment that would flip their entire timeline. The kind of person who is so naturally good that even the darkest corners of the world pause and take notice. You didn't mean to step into this story, but your entire path was leading here. Every time someone underestimated you, it built this moment. Every time someone used you, it shaped your heart. Every time someone broke you, it made you compassionate in a way even dangerous men respect. People don't understand that real power is born from pain. You lived through storms that wiped out whole families, and somehow you stayed soft enough to care for a stranger. That softness, that instinct, that humanity, It just rewrote your destiny, because villains know real strength when they see it. Even the cartel boss felt it. That's why he looked at you the way he did, like he was staring at something the universe sent, not to punish him, but to change him. And your enemies? They're panicking. They don't say it out loud, but their silence screams. They feel the shift. They feel the weight of your story. They know you walked into something bigger than them, bigger than their lies, bigger than their cheap shots and petty insults. They finally understand you weren't the weak one. You were the one with fate on your side. And now the world is about to see exactly who you are, because the person you saved isn't some random guy. He's the one who owes you everything, and dangerous men always pay their debts. And chosen one, yeah, you. Don't pretend you're not locked in already. You just stepped into a story where a cartel boss owes you everything, so you might as well lean all the way into the power you didn't even know you had. If you're ready to walk through this step by step, ready to understand why the universe pushed you into a moment that changed your whole life, then drop a comment with the number 777. Not as some magic trick, but as your way of saying, I know what I did, and I'm ready for what comes next. And trust me, if you're truly built for this, you're gonna feel that pull to stay until the very end. Because this isn't just a story anymore. This is the part where everything starts connecting. And now, let's dive deeper into what really happened, and why the underworld won't ever forget your name after this. Number 1. The favor that shook the underworld and put your name in their nightmares. Funny how they called you harmless until the most feared man on the continent decided he'd burn the world down if anything happened to you. Chosen one, let's get something straight before we peel this open. The people who once mocked you, dismissed you, or treated you like background noise never imagined you'd end up holding the kind of power that bends entire networks out of shape. They thought you were predictable, safe, ordinary. Meanwhile, the universe was quietly setting you up for a plot twist so violent it made your enemies swallow every word they've ever thrown at you. Because what you created that day wasn't just a moment. It was a bond so heavy, so unforgiving, that entire syndicates would rethink their strategies if they knew the truth. Let's hit the core of it. You didn't just save a man, you saved the architect of shadows itself, a strategist of chaos, a ruler of places where laws don't dare breathe, someone whose silence makes governments nervous, someone whose handshake can rewrite fortunes, someone whose enemies pray for distance. You saved a man whose name alone can make an entire street empty out. A man who built an empire on fear, loyalty, and silence. And now he owes you everything. Not a polite thanks. Not a bag of money. Not a handshake and a pat on the back. No, his world doesn't work like that. In his world, saving a life binds you to something eternal. A life saved is a life owed. A debt carved into the spine of the underworld. You didn't save him to gain anything. You didn't know who he was. You didn't see his power, his connections, the men watching from tinted SUVs with hands on their guns. You didn't recognize the tattoos that make other criminals step back. You didn't even stop to consider that stepping in might get you killed. You just acted. Pure instinct, pure humanity. And that's what terrifies your enemies. That's what impresses him. That's what changes everything. Because here's the truth. Humanity is the rarest weapon in the underworld. And you used it without hesitation. Ask yourself something honest. Why do you think he looked at you the way he did when he woke up? Why do you think the room went dead silent when he whispered your name later? Why do you think his men who don't fear bullets, stood just a little straighter when he mentioned you? Because you did something no soldier of his could ever do. You acted without fear. You acted without expecting anything back. You acted like someone who doesn't bow to power but respects life itself. In his world, that makes you untouchable. He's had advisors betray him. He's had soldiers fail him. He's had alliances crumble. But you walked in with nothing to gain and still handed him his survival. Do you understand the weight of that? Let's break it down with something your enemies cannot deny. The universe protects the ones who protect without thinking. You didn't know you were stepping into a legacy. You didn't know you were earning a debt that can't be repaid in years, money, or favors. You didn't know your kindness carried enough force to shake a criminal empire. But now you're here, and whether you wanted it or not, the underworld now knows your name. Here's a scenario nobody told you. In those circles, a life debt is the highest form of loyalty. It's not symbolic. It's not poetic. It's contractual in the darkest way possible. When someone like him owes you his life, it changes how every room reacts when your name is mentioned. It changes who watches over you at night without you noticing. It changes how your enemies play with you, because they don't know if a smile from you might send a phantom message to a man who could erase their entire history by morning. You think nobody noticed your act. You think it was just you and him in that moment. You think the universe didn't orchestrate that collision on purpose. Let's answer that doubt swirling in your mind right now. Why me? Because the universe has been shaping you in silence. Every hardship you endured sharpened your instincts. Every betrayal trained your sensitivity to danger. Every time someone broke you, it built your compassion. It made you the kind of person who steps in without calculating consequences. The kind of person even dangerous men respect. What if I made a mistake? You didn't. The universe doesn't waste moments like this. This wasn't random. This wasn't luck. This wasn't coincidence. You were meant to cross paths with someone powerful enough to change your trajectory because you've been living far below your true storyline. What happens now? Now the tables turn. Because when the most feared man in the shadows owes you his life, suddenly the people who tried to belittle you don't feel so brave anymore. They don't speak on your name the same way. They don't underestimate you the same way. They don't laugh anymore. They watch. They whisper. They panic. Your enemies now walk carefully because they don't know what would happen if he decided to repay you in the only currency he understands: protection. Imagine the people who once disrespected you learning that the one man they fear now sees you as his only debt. Imagine how their knees would buckle if they knew he'd drop entire operations if you needed him to. Imagine the silence in their chest when they realized they underestimated someone the universe was preparing for a moment like this. This is the part of your story where the universe flips the script, where the villain you saved becomes the force behind you, where your small act of humanity becomes your shield, your leverage, your legacy. You didn't know you were creating a debt, but you did. And that debt is larger than anything you've faced before. The underworld watches you with a mixture of confusion and fear now. Who is this person? How did they earn loyalty so absolute? Why did the boss smile when your name came up? Let them wonder. Let them choke on their curiosity. Let them replay every insult they ever threw at you and realize they were talking to someone the universe had already marked for something bigger. You didn't act for power, but power found you anyway. And that chosen one is the part of the story where everything begins to shift in your favor. Because the most dangerous man alive owes you a life he cannot afford to forget. Number 2. The shield that wrapped around you before you even realized the world had changed. They thought you were alone until they saw the shadows stand up for you. You didn't gain protection, you awakened an army. The moment you touched his blood, you stopped living a normal life. Funny how they once ignored you, now they step aside like you're carrying a crown they can't see. Chosen one, let's slow walk into this truth, because it's heavier than anything you've held before. You didn't ask for protection. You didn't beg for safety. You didn't audition to be important in the eyes of anyone powerful. But life doesn't wait for your permission. The universe doesn't give warnings. It flips switches when it wants. And on that day, when your hands touched a dying man who wasn't supposed to be saved, the entire atmosphere around you changed. Something snapped. Something rewrote itself. Something ancient in the underworld turned its head and whispered, "That one, protect them." Now look around. Really look. Those men in suits who show up everywhere you go aren't stalking you. They aren't checking if you're a threat. They aren't monitoring your footsteps. They're guarding you like a priceless artifact that the world isn't allowed to touch. Imagine this. You're walking into a store, minding your own business, and 3 aisles over is a man pretending to look at canned food while his eyes never leave you. But when danger walks in behind you, he shifts his stance. He's not there to watch you. He's there to make sure no one else tries. Imagine this. You're driving home. You think it's paranoia that a black SUV has been behind you for the last 4 turns. But every time you slow down, they slow down. Every time you speed up, they speed up. And if you pull into a gas station, someone steps out of the SUV, pretending to check a tire, but really scanning the area like a hawk. Imagine this. You pass a stranger on the street who nods before you even make eye contact. Not a friendly nod, a respectful one, the kind of nod soldiers give generals, the kind that silently says, "We know who you saved. We know who you are now." This is what happens when the King of Shadows decides you belong under his wing. And deep down, you're asking yourself the same questions most people never dare to voice. Why me? Because no one else would have acted the way you did. No one else would have jumped in without calculating the danger. No one else would have saved the most feared man alive like he was any other human being. You didn't flinch. You didn't freeze. You didn't bargain. You just acted. That kind of instinct earns loyalty in a world where loyalty is extinct. What if I don't want this protection? You don't get that choice anymore. A life debt in his world is irreversible. Your old life, the quiet one, the invisible one, ended the moment you stepped into his story. You may not have wanted the crown, but it landed on your head anyway. Am I in danger now? You were until he woke up. Now, you're the safest person within 10 miles of your own shadow. Nobody touches the one who saved the boss. Nobody even thinks about it. Fear does the work for you. Loyalty does the rest. Let's talk about that word you refuse to claim, untouchable. You think it's an exaggeration. You think it's dramatic. You think you're still the same person who blended into crowds and walked through life unnoticed. But you're not invisible anymore. The underworld doesn't ignore you. It recognizes you. It protects you. It owes you. Look at how people react around you now. The quiet shift in posture, the polite distance, the sudden respect from strangers who shouldn't know your name. These aren't coincidences. These are signals. There's a message traveling through the underground at a speed you can't imagine. A message that says, hurt them and the boss will burn your entire world down. This isn't fear, this is reverence. Remember before all this, when people treated you like your kindness was useless, when your softness was mocked, when your instinct to help others was labeled naive, when your compassion was dismissed as weakness, and now look. That same compassion, those same instincts, are the reason powerful men track your safety like you're an entire empire. You didn't ask for this, you didn't audition for this, but you earned it in a way nobody can argue with. Let's go deeper. Let's talk about the part that terrifies even you. You are marked now, not with ink, not with tattoos, not with some symbol carved into your skin. No, it's a mark written into the underworld itself, a silent decree. This one is protected by the boss, forever. The protection follows you, whether you want it or not. Because once a man like him owes you his life, he doesn't gamble with the debt. He doesn't let fate take the wheel. He doesn't say thanks and disappear. He wraps an entire network around you like a shield. Why? Because in his world, a saved life is sacred. A saved life is priceless. A saved life becomes a contract stronger than blood. You became something rare that day. Not a soldier, not an underling, not a pawn. You became a protected asset, a prized connection, a human miracle he never expected but will never forget. And make no mistake, this didn't happen by accident. People like you don't stumble into power. The universe nudges them, pushes them, drops them into moments that reveal who they really are. Look at yourself now. Look at how your instincts changed your destiny. Look at how your single act of humanity rewired an entire network of dangerous men. Look at how the world treats you differently, even if you pretend not to notice. You didn't ask for a guard. You didn't ask for soldiers. You didn't ask for shadows that move when you move. But you have them now, and they're not going anywhere, because to him, your life is no longer just yours. It's a debt he intends to honor until the universe says otherwise. And this is only the beginning, because once the underworld protects you, the real story starts. Number 3. How the underworld repays a life they can never replace. They used to pray for your downfall. Now they pray nothing happens to you. Protection isn't a privilege in his world. It's a law written in fear. Chosen one, you need to understand something brutal. A debt like his doesn't shrink over time. It grows, it multiplies, it compounds until the universe itself feels the weight of it. Every morning you open your eyes without chaos waiting for you is payment. Every night you fall asleep without paranoia chewing at your spine is payment. Every problem that mysteriously dissolves before it touches you, that's him settling the tab one silent move at a time. Imagine this. Somebody starts to badmouth you at a bar. They don't even get through the first sentence before someone taps their shoulder and shakes their head slowly. No threats, just a warning carried by reputation. Imagine a co-worker planning to sabotage you, only to suddenly transfer departments before their plan even starts. Imagine a legal notice that should have ruined your month, and instead gets lost, corrected, or resolved by people you'll never meet. You think this is luck? You think the universe just woke up one day and decided to hand you benefits you didn't apply for? No. Those are his fingerprints without leaving fingerprints. You're on a list now, not a hit list, a do not touch under any circumstance list. And it's a very short list, shorter than bloodlines, shorter than alliances, shorter than family trees that have survived generations. You're wondering if this protection is passive. It isn't. It moves before you do. It anticipates threats before they form. It shifts obstacles out of your path so smoothly you don't even notice they ever existed. Promotions show up early, enemies fall silent, opportunities land in your lap like they've been waiting for your hands. Coincidences? No, they're the payments of a king who refuses to owe anyone. In his world, your survival is his daily assignment. Number 4. The eyes that follow you because you changed a king's destiny. Powerful men don't watch everyone, only the ones who shake their foundation without trying. He's not tracking you. He's studying the miracle that rewrote his fate. Chosen one, let's tear the curtain open on a truth most people would crack under. The man you saved isn't sitting on some throne pretending he's forgotten you. He isn't distant. He isn't detached. He isn't treating your act like a passing moment in his violent story. He's watching you, closely, silently, consistently, not like a threat, like a phenomenon. He's observing how you walk through the world, knowing shadows guard your every step. He sees how you carry yourself, how you don't flaunt the protection, how you don't abuse the power you never asked for. He sees how you still move, like the same person who jumped in without hesitation. And that alone tells him everything he needs to know. Because what he sees now only confirms what struck him the moment his eyes opened and locked onto yours. You're different. Imagine this. He's surrounded daily by men who think before they breathe, who calculate before they blink, who would sell their own blood if the price made sense. And yet, when he looks at you, he sees something he hasn't seen in decades. Someone who acts on instinct, not strategy. Someone driven by principle, not profit. Someone who helped him without knowing the worth of the life you saved. In his world, people don't do anything unless there's gain. In your world, you moved because someone needed you. And that contrast, it hits him harder than any bullet he's taken. Here's what you're secretly asking yourself. Why does he care so much? Because you exposed something human inside a man who hasn't trusted anyone in years. You reminded him of a version of humanity he thought was extinct. You acted in a way that no soldier, no advisor, no ally in his empire ever would have dared. Does he see me as weak? Absolutely not. He sees your instinct as power. He sees your compassion as danger. He sees your morality as something mythical, almost legendary, because in his world, purity is more rare than loyalty. Imagine someone who has survived betrayals, ambushes, coups, and bullets, yet the thing that shook him most was your kindness. He's not watching you because he doubts you. He's watching you because he respects you. You became the one person he can't predict, can't categorize, can't control. And in the underworld, unpredictability is sacred. He sees your quiet strength. He sees how you don't exploit the protection wrapped around you. He sees how you don't act entitled to the safety others would kill for. To him, that makes you even more dangerous. Because you're not trying to prove anything, you just are. And that is exactly why he watches you like the universe placed you in front of him for a reason he hasn't fully figured out yet. You didn't just save a man, you awakened a king. And now he watches the one person who reminded him he still has something worth living for. Number 5. The doorway that appears only for the ones who can't be bought. They don't test your loyalty, they test your soul. Power doesn't change you, it exposes what was hiding. Chosen one, brace yourself, because this is where the universe stops whispering and starts dragging you into the fire. That life debt you created. It doesn't sit in the corner like a polite secret. It evolves. It grows teeth. It grows reach. It grows into opportunities most people would kill for, beg for, sell themselves for. And now those doors are opening for you. Quietly, suddenly, unnervingly. Imagine this. A meeting you were never meant to attend suddenly needs your presence. A door you never knocked on swings open like it's been waiting for your shadow. You sit in a room where decisions affecting entire cities are made in voices softer than casual conversation, and everyone looks at you not like an outsider, but like someone who belongs there. This is the test, not of loyalty, not of obedience, not of whether you'll serve. It's a test of integrity, because here's the truth he already knows. Loyalty can be forced. Fear can be bought. Respect can be orchestrated. But integrity, that's either in you or it isn't. You're asking yourself silently, why test me? I didn't ask for any of this. Because power exposes people. It strips the mask. It reveals whether someone stands solid or melts into the floor the moment privilege enters the room. He wants to see if you can accept help without becoming dependent. If you can stand near power without letting it own you. If you can benefit without bending. Most people fail here, not because they're weak, but because power whispers sweeter lies than violence ever could. And that's the real danger. Not bullets, not enemies, but transformation. Can you stand in the presence of an empire and still remain you? That's what the next chapter demands. Number 6. Why escaping only proves how much you matter to him. You think leaving keeps you safe, but you're running from the very shield that's been saving your life in silence. He doesn't chase with rage, he finds you with responsibility. Chosen one, here's the brutal truth you keep trying to dodge. You can't outrun this. You can't vanish into some quiet town, change your number, switch your routine, and hope the universe forgets what happened. A life debt like his doesn't dissolve just because you get overwhelmed. You stepped into a world where running doesn't trigger anger. It triggers concern. Imagine this. You disappear for a week, thinking distance will reset your life. But instead of retaliation, someone knocks softly on your door, not to intimidate you, but to check if you're eating, to make sure you're safe, to remind you that your absence didn't free you. It worried him. Because to him, running doesn't mean rebellion. It means you don't understand the kind of protection wrapped around your existence now. It means you don't realize how many storms have already been redirected away from you. And that's the part you haven't fully absorbed. You don't know what he's already saved you from. Let me answer the question screaming inside your mind. What dangers? I don't see anything. Exactly. You weren't supposed to. The betrayals that never reached you. The smear campaigns that died before they started, the accidents that never made it to your street, the wrong people who suddenly chose the wrong day to target someone else. Those weren't coincidences. Those were quiet interventions. Imagine a threat forming behind your back, only to evaporate because the wrong person whispered, "Don't touch them." Imagine someone planning to hurt you, but their phones stop ringing, their contacts disappear, their courage evaporates, and they never understand why. Imagine futures, entire futures, being rewritten so you walk clean, untouched, unshaken. He's not protecting just your present. He's clearing your future. He's sanding down every sharp edge before your foot ever gets close. He's eliminating paths that would have destroyed you. He's redirecting timelines that never deserved you. You can try to run, but you'd only be running away from the safest you've ever been. And deep down, you know it. Number 7. The mind game that comes with being too important to touch. Being untouchable sounds powerful until you realize the protection feels like a spotlight you never asked to stand under. Silence becomes heavy when you know it's engineered, not earned. Peace hits different when someone else is fighting the wars you never see. The real battlefield isn't outside anymore, it's your own head. Chosen one, this is the part nobody warns you about. Power looks shiny from far away, but when it lands on your shoulders without your permission, it starts to feel like a weight pressing into your bones. This is where things get heavy, because the psychological cost of being untouchable is nothing like the movies. It's quieter, stranger, more confusing. It turns your thoughts into a battlefield you didn't sign up for. You keep asking yourself, how do I live knowing I didn't earn this safety? How do I act normal when my peace is engineered by shadows I've never met? Why do I feel grateful and paranoid at the same time? And that's exactly the point. That internal tension is the real test. Imagine this. You're walking through your day and nothing goes wrong, not a single thing, no bad interactions, no hostility. Doors open, people soften, threats dissolve before they reach you, and instead of relaxing, your brain starts buzzing. Why is everything so smooth? Who made it smooth? Who stepped in that I didn't see? That's the psychological cost. Your peace isn't accidental anymore. It's curated, maintained, protected by forces that move faster than danger. And gratitude starts blending with paranoia in ways you can't fully explain. You appreciate the safety, but you question it. You understand the protection, but you feel the pressure of it. You start living in a strange middle ground between normal and legendary, where you're no longer just a person, but someone the underworld refuses to let fall. And this is the payment he's watching for. Not obedience, not submission, but evolution. He wants to see if you can carry this blessing without letting it corrupt you. If you can live untouched without losing your identity. If you can walk like a normal human while knowing you're anything but. Because being untouchable isn't the hard part. Staying yourself while being untouchable, that's where legends break or rise. Number 8. The moment the King of Shadows sits across from you. Some meetings shake hands. This one rewrites fates. He doesn't call people in. He summons only the ones who altered his story. This isn't a reunion, it's an evaluation. When power sits down with innocence, the universe holds its breath. Chosen one, prepare yourself, because this is the part that flips your entire timeline upside down. You will meet him again, but this time it won't be chaos. No blood, no sirens, no panic. This time the room will be calm. Too calm. This time, you won't stumble into him by accident. You'll be invited. Imagine walking into a private room, quiet, dim, heavy with the kind of silence that has history in it. Imagine seeing the man whose survival rewired your life, sitting there, not as a myth, not as a shadow king, not as a name whispered with fear, but as a human being who is alive because of you. He won't greet you with theatrics. He won't smother you with gratitude. He won't place gifts on the table. That's not his style. The first thing he'll do is look at you the same way he did when he opened his eyes the day you saved him, studying you like you're the one mystery he still can't solve. And then comes the question that hits harder than any threat. Who are you? Not your job, not your title, not your hobbies, not the surface-level identity you've been hiding behind for years. He wants the truth underneath everything, the core, the instinct, the thing that made you run toward danger when everyone else ran away. And here's the part you're quietly terrified of. How you answer will change everything. If you shrink, the protection becomes a cage. If you posture, the protection becomes distant and cold. If you lie, he'll know instantly. But if you answer honestly, if you speak from the place inside you that acted that day, if you let him see the real you, the instinct, the principle, the heart, then something rare happens. The protection stops being a prison. It becomes a platform that gives you access, a platform that gives you safety, a platform that opens doors normal people will never see. And you're probably thinking, why does this answer matter so much? Because he's not testing what you do. He's testing what drives you. He's deciding whether you're someone to shield, someone to elevate, or someone he must protect from the very world he comes from. This meeting isn't about him reclaiming power. It's about recognizing yours. When the King of Shadows sits across from the one person who saved his life, it's not a conversation. It's a shift in destiny, a contract written without ink. A moment the universe frames and hangs in its archives. And when you walk out of that room, nothing, and I mean nothing, will ever be the same again. Number 9. The day you saved a monster and accidentally resurrected the human inside him. You didn't just stop the bleeding, you stopped the darkness from swallowing him whole. Some lives you save with your hands, others you save with your existence. The strongest men fear bullets. What they can't survive is kindness with no agenda. You didn't heal his wounds. You healed something he thought was dead forever. Chosen one, let's talk about the truth nobody else will say out loud. When you saved him, you didn't just pull a powerful man back from the edge. You cracked something open inside him. You restored a belief he buried years ago, a belief he thought weakness, a belief he mocked in others. You reminded him that pure kindness still exists, even in a world built on betrayal, motives, and cold calculations. Imagine this, a man who built empires out of fear. A man who's seen more treachery than most people see sunrises. A man whose life is a ledger filled with debts, loyalties, and bodies. Yet the thing that shook him the most was you acting without wanting anything back. No reward, no leverage, no fear, just instinct, just humanity. You think you only saved his body. No. You saved the fragment of him that still remembers what it feels like to trust, to hope, to believe that not everyone is out for power or profit. Here's a truth he'd never admit publicly. You reminded him he wasn't fully gone. You reminded him he still had a reason to stay alive beyond the empire and the enemies and the weight of everything he's done. And gratitude from a man like him doesn't look like flowers or thank you cards. It looks like protection that never sleeps. It looks like loyalty that bends worlds. It looks like him watching your steps, not because you're weak, but because you awakened something in him he refuses to lose again. He protects you now, not because he owes you, but because he honors you. You became a mirror he wasn't prepared to face. You showed him a version of himself he thought the world had killed off. And that truth? It cuts deeper than any blade he's ever seen. But here's where the story sharpens. Here's where the danger and beauty intertwine. Whether this becomes your curse or your elevation depends on one thing: who you remain after everything changed. If you stay grounded, the universe will turn this into a blessing you never expected. If you let the attention warp you, the protection becomes a cage. If you forget why you acted that day, the whole dynamic collapses. He's watching, not to control you, but to see if the person who saved him still exists under the weight of all this power. Because in the end, chosen one, you didn't just breathe life back into him. You proved that the rarest power in the world isn't fear, money, or force. It's the kind of humanity that makes even the darkest men rethink who they are. Number 10. The power you never claimed, yet the underworld now bows to. Some people chase power. You just breathed, and the whole underworld stepped back. Respect earned without trying is the most dangerous kind. Chosen one, this is where your story stops being accidental and starts becoming legendary. You didn't ask for power, you didn't chase influence, you didn't manipulate your way into fear or respect. You simply acted once. Instinct, compassion, impulse, and somehow that single moment carved your name into places where names are usually bought with blood. Now watch how the underworld reacts to you. You're not just protected anymore. You've become a symbol, a reminder, a ghost story they whisper about in dim rooms. Imagine this. A hardened criminal hears your name and his jaw tightens, not out of anger, but caution. A rival organization considers making a move, but backs out the moment your connection is mentioned. Someone speaks carelessly about you, and the room goes quiet, not for him, but for his safety. That's the power you now command, without ever lifting a finger. Your reputation rises in shadows you've never walked through. Your influence grows in circles you've never joined. Soldiers treat you like a ranking officer. Leaders treat you like a diplomatic threat. And ordinary people sense something different when you enter a room, even if they don't know why. You think you're still the same person who once blended into crowds. But look closely. Opportunities multiply around you. Doors open without knocking. People who never noticed you now move carefully in your orbit. Not because you demanded it, but because the man you saved made it clear you're a consequence they don't want to face. And here's the part you haven't accepted yet. You're not just part of the story. You're shaping it. You're influencing people without speaking. You're altering the energy of entire networks just by existing. You didn't ask for power, but power chose you, and the underworld obeys. Number 11. When the shadows stop guarding you and start following you. Loyalty that's forced is fragile. Loyalty that's earned becomes immortal. Respect hits different when it comes from men who fear nothing. You didn't win them over with threats. You won them with the one thing they never see: humanity. Chosen one, let's talk about the shift no one prepares you for. The moment the people assigned to protect you stop acting like guards and start acting like allies. At first, every man watching your back was simply doing his job. Orders were orders. Your safety was a command, not a choice. They kept their distance. They stayed silent. They monitored you like a task on a checklist. But then something changed. It started small. The way they stood a little closer than necessary. The way they nodded when you spoke. The way their eyes softened. Not with pity, but with recognition. Because these men, who obey fear more than law, started seeing you not as a responsibility, but as a person worth respecting. And respect from men like this, that's rarer than peace in their world. Imagine this. A guard who never smiles gives you a quiet nod like he's greeting a superior. Another steps between you and danger before he even thinks about it. Someone opens a door. Not because they're ordered to, but because they want to honor you. A soldier who once stared blankly now watches you with something deeper: loyalty. This is what happens when protectors start believing in you. not in your connection, not in the boss who owes you, in you. They've seen your instinct, your empathy, your calm under pressure, your refusal to exploit the power wrapped around you, and men like them, men built from violence, loss and duty, don't respect easily. They respect authenticity. They respect someone who moves with principle. They respect someone who saved their leader with bare hands and pure heart. And here's what shakes the entire structure. Their loyalty shifts from his command to your character. You become someone they'd defend even without orders. Someone they'd warn, guide, protect because they want to, not because they have to. Someone whose presence changes their behavior, their tone, their posture. Your influence now expands far beyond the cartel boss himself. You're not just the person he owes, you're the person his men admire. That's how legends form. Not from fear, but from respect, willingly given by those who fear nothing. Number 12. The ending only. Destiny had the nerve to write. Some people live a life. You were dragged into a legend. The universe doesn't pick the strongest. It picks the rarest. You weren't thrown into this story. You were claimed by it. Chosen one, this is where everything comes full circle. You thought it was an accident. You thought you were just in the wrong place at the right time. You thought saving a dying stranger was nothing more than instinct. But destiny does not operate on coincidence. The universe doesn't move pieces this large for trivial reasons. Everything you stepped into, every shadow, every silent guard, every whisper of your name was already woven into a timeline only someone like you could handle. Because truthfully, this was never about saving one life. It was about awakening something bigger inside your own. Imagine this. You live your whole life thinking you're ordinary, thinking your kindness goes unnoticed, thinking your instincts make no difference. And then, one moment blows the mask off your entire existence. Suddenly, you're standing in a path carved for someone who doesn't fit into the world's usual categories. Someone who acts before thinking. Someone who risks before calculating. Someone who changes the trajectory of giants without even knowing it. That's not randomness. That's fate showing its hand. The universe didn't choose you because you're fearless. It chose you because you're human in a world that forgot how to be. It chose you because your instinct carries more force than someone else's weapon. It chose you because you could walk into darkness and still bring something light hasn't killed. You saved a man who's feared by nations, and in return, you unlocked a version of yourself you didn't even know existed. You didn't just step into his world, you reshaped it. You didn't just gain protection, you gained purpose. You didn't just alter his destiny, you confronted your own. And now the question that decides everything isn't about him, it's about you. Who do you become now that the universe has revealed what you're capable of? Do you shrink back into your old life, pretending none of this mattered? Or do you step forward, fully, boldly, into the identity this moment created? Because here's the sharpest truth of all. Only a rare kind of person could survive this story. Only a rarer one could grow from it. And only the rarest could command it. You didn't choose this timeline, but destiny trusted you with it anyway. And now, chosen one, you walk out of this chapter not as the person who saved a life, but as the person who changed one world and discovered their own. And with that, chosen one, your story snaps into place. Everything you lived, everything you survived, everything you became, it all led here. You didn't just change a moment, you changed a world that was never meant to cross yours. Now carry this power like it was always yours. Before you go, hit like, subscribe, and drop 77 in the comments so this message echoes further. Share this with someone who needs to remember what destiny does to the ones it chooses.